Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you have joined from. Another exciting day, another webinar from Data Platform Geeks. And today is the third webinar in the series of March. And it is super exciting to have Chris Testa with me here today. And Chris is a long-time friend and a very dear friend. I mean, Chris and I, we know each other for more than a decade now. And that's really wow. So welcome, Chris. And friends, today's session is about introduction to the Microsoft Artificial Intelligence and Data Science platform. My name is Amit Bansal, and I am hosting this for Chris today. And we have our moderator, Satya Ramesh. As usual, he is the backbone of all the webinars that you're seeing. Many of you already know about eDominer and our community initiative, Data Platform Geeks, which was formerly known as SQL Server Geeks. And we do a lot of free stuff for the community, free webinars, in-person events, a lot of videos that are recorded, and our webinars too are recorded and they are put up online. And one of our flagship initiative, as many of you know, is the annual conference that we organize each year in the month of August. And this year, 2018, is the fourth edition of the conference. And the best thing about this international learning event is that Microsoft product team members from Redmond fly down to Bangalore and they deliver sessions. And this, apart from Microsoft product team members, we have worldwide experts, MVPs and MCMs who join us in this conference. So it's a wonderful learning event and one of its kind where more than 50 speakers deliver close to 100 sessions across 7 parallel tracks. In case you wish to know more, just drop an email to contact@dps10.com or call on that number that's there and visit dps10.com and you can learn more about this conference. Without any further delay, about our DPG core team, I think all of you know much about them, so I will skip these few slides very quickly. Thanks much to the eDominer teams also putting up all these free events together. And of course, very special thanks to Microsoft as well. All of you are DPG members now. Looks like my screen wasn't moving, so I'll just quickly go back. Okay, I will do just a quick check. Can all of you see the slides moving now? I guess now, yeah.
This is moving, yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. So, well, you heard me, most of you heard me, so I'll just quickly take you through. I was talking about Data Platform Geeks, the community initiative, and all these events that we are doing are part of DPG and SQL Server Geeks. And yes, I just spoke about the conference that we organize every year in the month of August. And I also want to thank Chris. He was part of our conference last year, and he was overbooked by the attendees because he was one of those who were talking so much about data science and artificial intelligence, bot services, cognitive services, and whatnot. And I'm glad that Chris is doing the webinar today. Well, I just said that at this summit, like Chris, many of Microsoft product team members fly down to Bangalore and they deliver session for our India data and analytics community here. And we get great support from worldwide MVPs and MCMs also. So we have our sincere gratitude to all Microsoft speakers and worldwide experts who deliver sessions at this conference. If you wish to know more, please just drop in an email at contact@dps10.com or you yourself can visit dps10.com. Friends, also apart from the regular conference which we organize from from 9 to 11 of this August, there is 2 days of pre-con, August 8 and 7 and 8, sorry, a small typo out there. That's full day classes just a day before the conference, August 7 and 8. DPG core team, all of you, I think, know most of us, and you keep seeing us or hearing us in all these events. So I'll quickly skip to the next slide, and sincere thanks to the eDominer teams as well. Special thanks to Microsoft. Microsoft has been a great support to all our initiatives. And I just want to say that without Microsoft, it is very, very difficult to pull off so many community events back to back. So thanks, Microsoft. All of you are member of DataPlatformGeeks.com now, and please continue to remain members and just explore the website. There are tons and tons of learning resources out there. Please join these groups, Facebook group. I will just request our moderator Satya to put up these links in the chat window. So as Chris gets started, you can join these groups. Why should you join these groups? Beyond this webinar, if you have more questions, you can always post them in these groups, and I will request Chris sometime later to join us and answer questions in these groups as needed. So there is a Facebook group and there is a LinkedIn group out there. Well, without any further delay, over to Chris. Chris, a very, very warm welcome to Data Platform Geeks webinars, and thank you for agreeing to deliver a session for the India SQL and data community here. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, you're most welcome, Amit. So I'll just share my screen. And I'd just like to do a check to make sure that people can see that screen. It doesn't make sense to do a session on AI and data science without using one of our services. So if you would like a translation into English of this presentation, you can either use the URL www.translate.it/PGQUI, and this will actually provide the translation within your mobile phone or your laptop. So what you're seeing here is an example of one of our cognitive services, which is doing speech-to-text translation using the PowerPoint translator. And I use this quite often when I'm presenting, because even people in the United Kingdom don't even understand my accent sometimes. So I do find this very, very helpful. So without further ado, let's look at what we'll be covering today. So in short, we're going to do an overview of the Microsoft AI and data science platform. My name is Chris Testa-O Neill. I'm an applied data scientist working in the AI engineering team at Microsoft. Basically, working with the engineering team, we all work with partners to help partners and customers derive value from the AI solutions that they build. And I have to say, we did a trip in Bangalore and Chennai in January, and we are extremely excited at the developments that are going on in India at the moment. There's a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm hoping that this presentation will give you really a presentation of how we in the engineering team are thinking about the Microsoft AI and data science platform, and introduce you to the platform and the processes that we use within this. Now, normally we reserve the thank yous at the end, but I'd like to do this now. First of all, I want to thank Amit and his team at eDominia for the tireless work that you guys do in the community in India. We at Microsoft love what you do, and thank you very much for your support. I also want to thank the attendees as well. This is your time, and it's really important to me that you get the most out of this time. So I do encourage you to place questions into the chat window, and at the end of this session, we will explore some of those questions and hopefully get your questions answered. So the agenda for this session, we are going to firstly look at the Microsoft AI and data science platform vision. We will look at the type of advanced analytics as defined by Gartner. We'll look at the skills of a data scientist, but here particularly we'll share with you how we're thinking about the AI professionals in the industry. We'll look at the team data science process and how that can be used to deliver both AI and data science solutions. And finally, we'll explore the core technologies of the platform itself. This includes machine learning services, cognitive services, the bot framework, Azure Search, and the data science virtual machine. So starting out with the Microsoft AI and data science vision, if this was to be summarized in one sentence, this would be the sentence. The Microsoft AI and data science platform, let me start again. Microsoft AI and data science is a process and the platform to perform advanced analytics from start to finish. And this has been a theme that we've talked about for a number of years. But there's three areas that we commonly get asked about when it comes to this sentence. First of all, partners and customers will ask, what do you mean by advanced analytics? And then typically they will ask, what is the process and what is the platform? So this is what we are going to define now. So as far as advanced analytics goes, I'd like to refer to the definition as defined by Gartner in October 2014. Now, for people in the SQL Server world, they are extremely familiar with both descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Many of you may have created a data warehouse, and this falls under the realms of descriptive analytics, where we look at what happened. And typically we do this through the population of a data science the population of a data warehouse, and then we'll use analysis services or indeed reporting services to actually query the information to provide a view of what happened. Now, the first thing a business user will do when they retrieve reports from a data warehouse is they will export it to Excel and will start to mash up that data in such a way to answer questions. Why did this happen in the report? And maybe they've got their own data stores through Excel spreadsheets, even Access databases, that they want to correlate between the information from the data warehouse to the information that they have as well. So with diagnostic analytics, we're looking at why did things happen? And this is typically done through technologies such as Excel or Power BI. The focus of this presentation is on predictive analytics. And this is about what will happen. And typically, data do and then use it to make predictions. Now, the whole point of any of these analytics is that ultimately you want to make decisions and take action. But as we move down from descriptive diagnostic to predictive, you'll find that the human input that's involved in that should be reduced until we get to prescriptive analytics. And this comes under the realms of artificial intelligence, where we can help with decision support, where there's an intervention by a human that can take the information from prescriptive analytics and then make a decision before taking an action. But more and more, we are seeing prescriptive analytics performing decision automation, where the actual decision is taken out of the hands of a person and basically made towards an action. And we've got a number of examples that do this. The most topical subject of conversation is, of course, the autonomous car. And certainly at Microsoft, we've worked with car manufacturers to help out in this area, particularly with cognitive services using vision APIs to detect when a driver is sleeping. Now, whilst predictive may be in the realms of data science and prescriptive in the realms of artificial intelligence, they are not mutually exclusive. So what that means is that there are elements of artificial intelligence solutions that will make use of predictive analytics, maybe some form of classification algorithm or regression algorithm may be used by a cognitive service in order to classify, for example, images. So we're going to be focusing in this session on predictive and prescriptive analytics and how we can work with this in our everyday projects. Now, we use the team data science framework for showing, for working with artificial intelligence or data science solutions. So let's explore this. The team data science process essentially involves many different professionals of many different skills that contribute together to deliver the overall solution. So in the business understanding phase, yes, we define the objectives that the business requires from a project. We understand what success looks like. We may even use this to identify the various data stores that we'll be using for sourcing our AI projects. Now, business analysts can still play a very, very important role in a data science project in helping the business translate their success metrics to a team. We also need to acquire data and understand it. So we need ways of ingesting data, exploring data, and indeed updating data. And those of you that have been involved with data migrations or indeed ETL operations, your skills are still important today in delivering that phase of the team data science process. Modeling, the third area, is where the data scientists can get involved. Or is it just about the data scientist? Well, here at Microsoft, we want artificial intelligence and data science to be accessible to all. And hopefully what you will learn today is that whether you're a data scientist or a developer, you can make use of artificial intelligence and data science right now, today. So the modeling is traditionally promoted as essentially creating a model that will be used in predictive analytics. But these can be done through custom models that you create through our deep learning algorithms. But we also have pre-packaged algorithms through services such as Cognitive Service that uses modeling for classification of images, speech-to-text translation, and so forth. The fourth phase of the team data science process is deployment. At the end of the day, we want to operationalize these solutions and put them into production. So again, people in the realms of this, such as database administrators or administrators as a whole, play a really, really important role in helping deliver those solutions and deploying them to production. And finally, we've got customer acceptance, dealing with the testing and the validation of the models, handing off the documentation that states that the work is complete and working as expected, but also dealing with the aspects of retraining and rescoring algorithms as new data comes in. Now, for those of you that are familiar with data mining, this framework is based on the CRISP-DM process, which is the cross-industry standard process for data mining. We've just added some more context to this in the context of the Microsoft platform, and added in the customer acceptance so we get that sign off of the solutions that we deliver. So, with the process in place, I want to encourage you to visit the Team Data Science documentation that's available at Microsoft.com. I have provided a copy of this slide deck available to the team. But if you read through that, it does make for an interesting approach to your data science solutions, and one that I think you'll largely be familiar with already from other types of projects that you've worked with already. So, data scientists versus AI developers. What is the difference? A data scientist will ultimately create custom machine learning models through a wide range of machine learning frameworks. And we do this through Machine Learning Workbench. And this enables you to bring in these machine learning frameworks, create your algorithms, and ultimately you will package them up so that they can be accessed through APIs. So we account for experienced data scientists through the Machine Learning Workbench for them to create their own custom models. But we have a massive community of developers who want to use AI today. And an AI developer will consume and configure machine learning models. So that can be the models that have been created by your data scientists. The AI developers just need to know about the API capabilities, or they can use one of the many APIs that we have available within cognitive services. And perhaps they may even hook into that through the bot framework as well. So AI developers essentially consume and configure machine learning models through the wide range of IPAs, and is supported in a wide range of languages. Next week, I'll be delivering a custom vision presentation, and I'll be doing it in C#. But you could quite as easily do it in Node.js or indeed Python as well. So it's really important to make the distinction that we understand that there's already data scientists there that have years of experience of working in this area, but we also have a really rich network of developers that want to make use of this as well. So this is a very, very important distinction to make between a data scientist and an AI developer. So what about the Microsoft AI and Data Science platform? Well, in short, here are the core technologies. We have Azure Machine Learning Services, so you can build your own machine learning models, score it, and train it. We use Cognitive Services, which deals with artificial intelligence in the realm of imaging and speech and text. Bots are becoming a very, very important part of business processes, and we use the Azure Bot Service for you to create your own bots that can hook into machine learning models and cognitive services. And what catches a lot of people by surprise is that we have Azure Search as well. This is an area that perhaps most people on this call would be able to use very, very quickly. And we all know that Azure Search, we all know that search is important to humans when they're issuing queries for data or for objects such as images. Well, bots can make use of Azure Search as well to speed up the searching of images, text fragments, and so forth within an AI solution. And finally, I would like to call out the Data Science Virtual Machine. The Data Science Virtual Machine is a pre-configured virtual machine that you can set up within minutes, and this will contain all of the AI and data science applications that you need in order to create your solution. So, a quick summary. Machine learning services enables you to build your algorithms as you like. You can do this in a code-first approach, which is done in Machine Learning Workbench. If you've not seen Machine Learning Workbench yet, and you are a data science, I would highly recommend that you look at the many videos that were available at last year's Ignite when we announced it. Even if you're not so familiar with Workbench, I would encourage you to take a look at Machine Learning Workbench for its capabilities. Machine Learning Workbench enables you to use Python and a wide range of tools to create your projects, build models, score them, and train them. And then you can deliver them and package them up for use in a production environment. We still use Machine Learning Studio. That is still available. And this is proving very, very popular in proof of concept work, or indeed, if you want to do a first run of what a data science solution should look like. The key difference between Azure Machine Learning Workbench is the scale. Workbench scales far bigger than Machine Learning Studio can. But even with Machine Learning Studio, you can make use of very, very useful model development that you can either use within Machine Learning Studio, but what we're now starting to see is that customers are translating those solutions into Workbench to get that scale. Now, in the course of the next 30 days, I know that there are a number of presentations surrounding machine learning, so I'd encourage you, if you're interested in this, to look at this. The second technology is cognitive services. Now, this covers vision. So we've got the face API, and we used to have the emotion API, but that's now merged into the face API. And this will allow you or your bots to understand images, identify the gender of an individual, the age, the emotion. But we've also got computer vision that allows you to bring back tags and descriptions about a wide range of objects that you can then pull back and make use of within your applications. And for images that can't be handled by computer vision, we can make use of custom vision, where we can create our own classification model with our own images, and then we can basically feed pictures into our custom vision model, and it will basically pull back the classification to which an image will belong. There are exciting developments with speech. As you've seen from this presentation, I'm currently converting speech to text with a PowerPoint translator, but we've also got translator APIs as well that we can basically embed into our applications and convert to a wide range of languages. We're also starting to be able to identify speakers as well. Language, this is typically done with Lewis, where we can understand natural language commands, parse spoken words into an intent that can be translated into an action. We have a knowledge section where we can connect up to a rich knowledge base from the web, academia, or indeed your own data. And then using Bing, the power of Bing, we can use the search APIs, be it the Bing API or the Bing image API or the video API, in order to take advantage of Bing's strength of searching across these areas. And these are simply APIs. You know, if you're a developer with .NET experience, you know, you're just simply making an API call. So it's very, very quick to get up and running with any of these solutions. And I'll be demonstrating this this time next week with the custom vision demonstration that I'll be doing. The bot framework. Bots are becoming very, very popular at the moment. They help in customer service and support scenarios, where we're finding a number of customers are using this to interface with a bot in the first instance. The bot will basically provide you with the answer, but if it doesn't, it can redirect you to a human if necessary. We've got a rich bot developer software developer kit, so you can get a bot up and running in minutes. We have to a number of different channels, be it a Skype channel, a direct channel. We can even do Slack, so forth, in order to do this. So again, with developer experience, you'll be able to take advantage of the bot framework fairly quickly. And at the end of this presentation, I do have a gift I would like to share with you that can help you jumpstart your knowledge in all of these services, be it machine learning, cognitive services, and the bot framework. And in those labs that we'll be providing, you'll also explore Azure Search. And with Azure Search, you can build a sophisticated search experience which can, improve the user's perceived access to data. And this is really, really useful for reducing friction between the information that is collected in a bot through to the actual artifacts that it'll be pulling back as requested by the user. So essentially, no matter what we do, the user's perceived access to using the application still remains important, and Azure Search can help in the retrieval of information very, very quickly. So the final technology that I'd like to refer to is what we call the data science virtual machine. Now, we've got various flavors of this. So we've got a Windows data science virtual machine. We have a Linux data science virtual machine. And we also have a deep learning data science, a deep learning virtual machine as well. And as you can see, these are pre-configured, pre-built virtual machines that you can have up and running in minutes. And within this, it's got tools for Microsoft R Open, Microsoft ML Server, there's Microsoft Office Pro Plus installed, we've got Anaconda Python, we've got Julia Pro, Jupyter Notebooks, Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, RStudio Desktop. We have a range of data movement and management tools in there, be it Azure Storage Explorer, PowerShell, AZ Copy, and machine learning tools, including XGBoost, Valpal Rabbit, Weka, Rattle, and so forth. With the deep learning machine, you've basically got access to the cognitive toolkit, TensorFlow, MXNet, Caffe, Torch. So you can have all these tools installed on your own machine, on solutions. What I'm finding, so I can work on my laptop when I'm kind of deving evidence, but when I want to unit test things at scale, I have my own data science virtual machine that I bring up across and of that now. So, just one moment. So first of all, I'm going to go to the portal. And in the top left, I will create a resource. And I'm just going to type into the search data science, and you can see the flavors that we've got here. Okay. In this case, I'm going to choose the Windows 2016. And in here, we can click on Create. And for those of you that are familiar with configuring a virtual machine, This will look very, very familiar. So I'm going to create a name for the data science virtual machine. CTO, the SVM. I've got the choice of a hard drive disk or a hard disk drive or a solid state disk. I will create a username. Let me just go back to the name because it doesn't like the underscore. And I will put a password. And then you assign it to your subscription. I'll create a new resource group where that will be held. And I'll put the location, in this case, West US. Now, this just provides the basic information required for the data science virtual machine. Click on OK. And this is the true benefit here. Oh, interesting. It's failed. Let me close that. Try that again. Click on OK there. Right, I'm just going to try a different region. Okay, so there's a problem with our thing at the moment, so I'll erase that. Let's cancel that, cancel that. I suppose it would be the middle of the night over there, so let's do the 2012. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so we've got a problem at the moment, which I'll get in touch with our team about straight after this. The idea is ultimately what you end up with is a data science virtual machine that you can log on to and use all the tools that I've mentioned before. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do it at the moment, but there is a video that I can refer you to. So, please, can you make a note of the URL that you can see here? https azure.github.io/learnai-bootcamp. This contains training materials that we have given to partners, and it's for a 4-day course. But you can actually use it as a self-study material. And all you would need is an Azure, access to Azure. Other prerequisites for the different parts can be found on the web page here. But in here, you will use computer vision, custom vision, Lewis, bot framework, Azure search, and you'll integrate them all together as one cohesive CLI application. So I do encourage you to try out this lab to do this. And if you get that far, you then move on to content that covers machine learning workbench, the team data science process, and it evolves into using deep learning algorithms such as CNTK. So if you really want to jumpstart into AI, I would highly recommend that you use the AI Bootcamp materials. In short, you can build intelligent applications from the content that you can see here. And as you can see at the bottom, the goal of this 4-day bootcamp was to really kickstart companies, customers, partners into using AI on the Microsoft Cloud AI platform. And please feel free to reuse this material if you would like to deliver it yourself. This is not level 100, 200 content that you're seeing today. This probably starts at level 300 and goes up to 500. So just to prepare you for that. But if you do go through it, it's a really nice learning curve into AI itself. So I just want to give out a final call to supporting technologies. Cortana is still really, really important to us, as is Power BI for visualizing the results of data science solutions. You may want to move data, which can be done with streaming analytics or event hubs. We have a wide range of storage areas, be it Azure Blob Store, Data Lake, SQL Data Warehouse, Cosmos DB. HD Insights still plays a role. I should mention Azure Databricks as well is starting to become very popular. So in the AI engineering team, we have the core technologies that we've just outlined with machine learning, cognitive services, bot framework, and Azure Search. But these services do make use of these supporting technologies to move data, store data before it's consumed. So, any questions? I've deliberately left time to have questions. So if it's okay with you, Amit, or Satya, is it worth going through the chat just to see what Q&A there is? Okay, so Raki asks, which technologies do we use for operationalizing the AI models and scoring services? How do we deploy in production? Can you please throw some light on DevOps, on the DevOps part for AI and data science? I can answer that really well. We use the team data science process. Now, what I will do, if you don't mind, I will go to that website actually. Because I think it's better if I answer this. So here are the labs that we have, that we've developed. So Raki, the lab that you will be interested in is Lab 3.1, which is the team data science process and Azure machine learning. You'll have to do Bootcamp 3 first. So you can literally start at Bootcamp 3. You could ignore everything here. So I would say that Lab 1.1 to 2.5 is for AI developers. And Lab 3.0 through to Lab 4.5 is for data scientists. And Raki, if you do the lab from 3.0, 3.1, you'll notice if you work through all of these, you've got Lab 4.2, deploying services, Lab 4.1, managing modules, managing models. So the best way I can throw light on the DevOps part of the AI and data science process is do this lab and go to the Team Data Science documentation page. Okay, so Raki, how to deploy APIs in production, what are the industry standards? Again, I would refer you to the GitHub lab that you can see here from 3.0 onwards. If I just go to here, here's a synopsis of both those labs. Okay. Oh, sorry, Sergio. Is it possible to switch off translation subtitles? I've received a lot of feedback that people struggle with my accent. So we're at the end now anyway. Perfect. Let's look at, okay. The link for that should be working here, azure.github.ai. So if that link is not working, please use this here. Can cognitive services be installed locally with SQL Server 2016? Cognitive services is a cloud-based service, so it's not available with SQL Server 2016. So basically, you would log into the Azure portal. Let me answer that by going back into the portal. I'll try the demo again in a minute. But if you basically create a resource, go to AI and cognitive services, you'll see we've got a wide range of APIs that we can use here. If I click on See All, yeah, so hopefully that'll answer your question. Yeah, it can't be done in 2016. I'll come back to that. GV, hopefully that URL here, so I've answered that. Difference between Workbench and ML Studio. Fundamentally, Machine Learning Studio is a GUI-based approach to building machine learning solutions. There are scripting tasks within this, such as execute R script, execute Python script, but by and large, a lot of the tasks are done through a drag and drop capability. Workbench is basically a code-first approach using Python. So effectively, we know that a lot of data scientists are familiar with Python, so we wanted to build a tool that would work for them. And basically, we have created Workbench for the data scientists, and we're finding that AI developers are making use of machine learning studios to articulate how they want a model to work, and then a data scientist can come involved and then use it in Workbench. Any real-time examples of AI and data science? I would say that the Seeing AI app is a very, very good example. Seeing AI. This is an app that you can download here, and I would highly recommend that you look at this and download the app as well. So yeah, just do a search in Bing for Seeing AI, and you'll see this particular video, and you can download this onto your phone and make use of it today. We have many other examples as well of AI solutions, which I would recommend you go to customers.microsoft.com, and within customers.microsoft.com, we have a number of customer stories here that you can browse all stories. And then if you go to product, cloud platform, and do machine learning. Here you can see a lot of examples of customers we've worked with on machine learning, and then just do a search. So we have many, many examples of real-time examples of AI and data science. So hopefully that's been answered. Is Microsoft looking to retire Azure Machine Learning Studio at some point? We're keeping Machine Learning Studio. We understand that Machine Learning Studio is a very, very useful tool for many people breaking into data science. So we are not looking at retiring Azure Machine Learning Studio. A lot of our engineering efforts are going into Machine Learning Workbench simply because it's a newer product. I mean, Machine Learning Studio has been around for over 3 years now. Machine Learning Workbench was released last year, and it's still in preview as well. So we're putting our efforts in Workbench at the moment while we get that to GA. So hopefully that's answered that question. Does the 4-day bootcamp session will be enough to start working with AI? Yeah, it can, because the thing is, what you've got to realize is that AI can be used by developers by hooking into the APIs that are built into the cognitive services. They can build bots through the SDK. They configure Azure Search. And the 4-day bootcamp, I am very confident from lab 1 to 2, you'll be able to get enough information from there to start using the AI APIs today. There are prerequisites, but they're clearly listed out in the Learn AI Bootcamp here. So we have basically a synopsis, but if I look at emerging AI developers and click on the details files, here you can see the goals. So you're going to understand how to configure apps to use cognitive services, call APIs, configure Azure Search, train Lewis models, build a bot framework that uses Lewis and Azure Search, basically log conversations in your bot using ngrok for rapid testing. You're going to get quite a lot of information. Also, as it's in Azure, do we need to know Visual Studio as well? Python will be very helpful. What we're doing is we want this to be essentially language agnostic. So next week I'll be showing you an example in C#, but you could as easily do it in Node.js or indeed done. Right, bot star, that's Vikram. What all can be done with the bot framework? Bot framework essentially is being used as customer. See what we've got here. So here is an example. I've just done a search in the customer stories. So we've worked with Progressive, where they've got a service channel with chatbots. So customers hook up to the website of Progressive, the bot comes out, and then you interact with the bot. Anyone who's done Microsoft support, you'll notice that your first interactions are with bots, and sometimes the bot can answer the question for you. So here, there's many examples of bots there. Hopefully that will be done. Would you like to compare TensorFlow with cognitive services? No, I don't need to compare TensorFlow with cognitive services because I can use both in Azure Machine Learning Workbench. So it doesn't matter whether you prefer TensorFlow or whether you prefer cognitive services or the cognitive services toolkit. Both of those frameworks can be brought into Azure Machine Learning Workbench, and you can develop and create your models against each of them. Also, with 3 minutes left, I haven't really got a lot of time to make the comparison, but thanks for your question, Rakesh. Any open source public data? There is. there's a lot of public source data available for data science. I would highly recommend that you do a search for open data sources. I don't have it on me at the moment, but there is plenty of public data sources in order for you to use. I'm working on SharePoint. How do I start to implement AI in SharePoint? I'm not a SharePoint expert, but the natural inclination for me will be looking at ways that I could integrate chatbots into O365. So that's what I would look at. So Chetan, we're not talking about on-prem SharePoint here. If we talk about Office 365 and the capabilities there, you might want to go back to this, do the labs here on the GitHub, and particularly build bots as your search that can help you. Do we need to know Azure first in order to start AI and ML? I would say as long as you know how to log into the portal, as long as you know how to create a resource, all you need to do is choose the resource that you want. So for example, I might choose a computer vision API. Oh, clicked on the wrong one there, I apologize. Click on Computer Vision API. All I need to do is give a name. Assign it to a subscription, assign it to a location, choose your thing, choose your pricing tier, and then click on Create. And what that will do is it will create an API key that you can use. So that's being done. Perfect. So the deployment is in progress. And there was a question, can I do this? Let's see what happens. The cognitive service has just been deployed. DSVM. Let's see if this works. Yes, so the size is now coming up. And this is the key benefit of really working with a data science virtual machine. You have all these different sizes of virtual machines. So fundamentally, if you want 112 gigs of RAM, 16 virtual CPUs, 64 data disks with this IOPS and this size, choose the DS14. But you can basically choose something as simple as this. So once I've clicked my size, and to answer the question for someone here who said, do I need to know Azure? This is a really good example where all the virtual networking, the network configuration, the availability, it's all dealt for you. So you don't need to know the infrastructure part of this. I just click on OK there. And then finally, it'll run the final validation. So we'll just wait for that validation to pass and click on Create. So this deployment is firing up, and this will take about 5 minutes, but hopefully I've been able to show you how quick it is to deploy a data science virtual machine. And the other thing I would recommend you do is the Microsoft Channel 9 AI show, where one of my friends and co-workers, Gope, he has done a really good video on here, data science virtual machine. So I would highly recommend that you watch Gopi's presentation here At the data science virtual machine, it's 24 minutes. I apologise for overrunning for 2 minutes. Is there any more questions? I think we've answered all 40. Thank you, Satya, for dealing with that. I really appreciate your support there.
And Chris, we can always take more questions in the group. Yeah, Chris, we can always take more questions in the group, and we can answer them as well in Facebook and LinkedIn also.
Well, thank you everyone for your time. I hope you found it very useful, and I look forward to catching up with you next week, where I'll show you how to build a custom vision application using cognitive services. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Chris. It was really wonderful having you today for this webinar. And just to let the audience know, Chris is joining us back on March 17th. I hope you can see the screen. If you go to DataPlatformGeeks.com, building custom vision application, that's the session we're going to have on March 14th, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And as I see, many of you would be keen on getting deep dives into many of these technologies and concepts, explore the full day classes that we are having as part of Data Platform Summit 2018 pre-conference training. First one is Troubleshoot and Optimize SQL Server like a Pro from Dimitri. We have Sunil Agarwal from Microsoft Redmond joining us and delivering sessions on SQL DB and managed instance. It's a full day class again. Rezarad on Power BI. We have Leila Itati on leading edge data science tool with Microsoft Tools. She's an MVP from New Zealand. We have the world famous Andy Leonard on SSIS and Azure Data Factory. 6-1, Madan Gajendran from Microsoft and his Cosmos DB team is joining us for a full day class on Cosmos DB workshop. We again have building intelligent applications with Microsoft AI platform. And again, we will have Leila Itati doing this. We have Practical R for Everyone, which is going to be delivered by Steph Lockey. So if you're keen on R, programming language, explore this. Sanjay Mishra from SQL CAT team with his data CAT team is going to deliver a full day class on building a scalable data architecture in Azure. And then we have two pre-cons, one from Denny on HADR, high availability and disaster recovery, and the other one from Joey on Linux on SQL Server. Last but not the least, we have Peter Myers doing zero to analysis services as part of DPS 2018 pre-con. So 12 different classes from 12 different experts. That's on August 7th and 8th as part of DPS 2018 pre-con. And of course, about the conference, I guess all of you already know quite a bit, so I'm not going to take more of your time there. Let me just get back to my closing slides. So friends, thank you again. One quick request to all of you, please give us feedback. We've just posted today's group picture in our Facebook group. Your feedback will be much appreciated. Speaker like Chris, myself, and all other speakers who voluntarily give their time, they really love to hear back from you, how they have done, and it is a great motivation. So please post your feedback out there. It just becomes very easy. You know, some of these demos that we see on SQL and Microsoft Data Platform, if you want to practice them step by step, log on to SQLMaestros Hands-on Labs learning platform. We have more than 120 labs there. Please go ahead and create a free account for yourself and try some of our labs out there. All you have to do is go to hols.sqlmaestros.com or just go to SQLMaestros and you can see the HOL section. Drop an email to holsales@sqlmaestros.com in case you wish to someone from our team to get back to you. With this, thank you very much for your time today. Hope this 1 hour was very useful to you. I have my sincere gratitude and thankfulness to Chris Testa from Microsoft, who has voluntarily given us so much time today. And of course, he is coming back on March 14th. My final words, do explore the conference, Data Platform Summit 2018. You should come to this summit if you're very serious about Microsoft Data Platform and if you wish to learn from Microsoft product experts and worldwide industry stalwarts. Goodbye and have a great day, whatever is remaining of it. Thank you.